Okay, this show is a group of women that has come together that are like-minded artists, all working in different mediums. And we've known each other for a little while, and it was an opportunity that came my way, so I presented it to them, and we came together to create this show, which I think has come out quite lovely.
So the title came because of the same idea?
The title came because we had some difficulties with censorship, and we actually lost one of our artists in the process. And things went out of our control, and there were no exceptions to the rules, so we couldn't bring that artist into the show with us. And it became impossibilities. Yes.
How long the show is going to be here for?
The show ends on, I believe, the 19th. The 20th is the day we take it down.
Do you remember all the names of the people involved in the show?
All of the people in our show are Anne Boquist, Mary Coakley, Bonnie Coulter, Suzanne Jensen, Amber Lomax, Joanne Thompson, and myself, Sharon Buzzard Grove.
Well, this piece is called The Lure Thief, and she is made entirely of recycled fishing lures. There's over 1,000 spinner blades to make her tail, and it took me almost 3 years to gather all of the pieces to be able to put her together. So she's well thought out in terms of how long it took me to source all the pieces. And the string on her belly is to reference tattooing. So they've sent the diver down in the observation bell diving thing, and she's got him under a spell, so he's horrified because he's done. She's gonna finish him off. A little bit of humor with that. This piece started out with this beautiful chrome cowl vent cover. It's off of an antique Chris Craft pleasure boat, and the piece just built from there around. To me, it reminded me of a shoebill crane. Have you ever seen those birds with that massive beak? You just can't even guess what that beak is used for, what it's eating that it needs that beak. So that's what that piece is based upon. And this piece here is a little homage to the frogs in my neighborhood, because a new park was created in East Sioux called Secret Ponds, and when they cleaned out the marsh and actually made open water, the frogs moved in, and they moved in by the thousands. And one night I was driving by, and it was a moonlit night, and I could hear this noise outside of my car, and I couldn't understand it, so I stopped, rolled down the windows, and oh my, it's a zillion frogs, and they're having a good time. So I envisioned that they were having their own big party at the ponds. And this is the poster that they created to call everybody to the Secret Ponds on the next full moon.
My name is Mary Coakley, and I'm a photographer, and I am a very fortunate person to be invited into this show of impossibilities, and I'm the photographer of the show, and it's an honor to be hung with such brilliant photographers here. As a photographer, I really am self-taught. I have slung a camera over my shoulder since I was 17 years old and escalated with newer and better and more technical photography gear. And when I retired from my very straight life as a government bureaucrat, I was drawn out of that workforce to pick my camera up and go traveling and become a professional photographer by my lovely boyfriend over there, Matt Lambert, also a brilliant photographer. And we went traveling for 28 months in 13 countries, and landscape, architecture, spiritual culture, people, all those things I love. And I think I've always been a bit of a documentarian as a photographer. In countries where people wanted and demanded to have their pictures taken, and that was just such a way to kind of get inside the people of the countries we went traveling to. And I'm also an adventurer and very physically active, and mountains are, to be traveled, and great trails have been hiked to get the pictures that we have gone through. We hiked 30 days in the Annapurna Mountains in Nepal. We have stepped around the places where are now devastated right now, and we want to do a slideshow coming up as one of our first exhibits in our photographic gallery that we are opening in Jordan River, the Photographer's Gallery in Jordan River. So that's where I am right now, getting that project off the ground. We're still renovating and getting lights up, but soon, like within this month, we'll be open there. And then we'll be really able to develop the 90,000, we each came home with 90,000 images, and do slideshows and present our adventures that we've had to other people, and encourage them to look at ways and means that they can put a knapsack on their back and go traveling for a year or more, and figure out how easy that is and what a wonderful life it is to do that kind of traveling. And our pictures kind of tell that story of spirit of the lands that we've been to.
This piece was made on the wheel, and it was then altered a little bit, and a liquid slip was added to it to create the texture. It's been through multiple firings with additional glazes and surface treatments added each time in between. So it took me 4 firings to get it finished, and this is the result.
Can you tell me the difference between this vase one and the one over there, the brown one?
This is a hand-built piece, and both those pieces reference the Haniwa period from Japan during the Jomon period, and they reference the tombstone pieces that were put around the grave sites. They're similar to what people more commonly know from China, from the Red Army, the Terracotta Army, but these are the Japanese-inspired versions of them. They have an innocence to them. Each one is individually created, and they're not created to all be exactly the same, but you can definitely tell by looking at each piece that they were a horse or a dog or a house or a shaman or someone who was part of the village.
It's usually very expandable.